Okay, so we were talking about Michelle's current body of work, and she was telling a narrative about it and some experiences. So, do you mind going back and
Yeah.
tell us about that again? Sorry about that.
Oh no, no, that's fine. I'll go ahead and explain all over again.
Okay.
So once again, my current body of work is talking about undocumented workers. That's the background story, so I'll go ahead and say that because the individuals that I am painting are not random. They're people that I know. And so this particular painting is somebody very special to me, and I'll go ahead and explain that. So a year ago, I took my very first painting class, and during that semester, I had to do a portfolio review. So I had to officially declare my concentration to be either painting or graphic design. And I was still kind of afraid to be a studio major, even though I fell in love with the painting class. I loved everything about it. In my mind, graphic design sounded a lot better. And I'm like, well, maybe this will open up opportunities for me. And so I went ahead and chose graphic design, and that was that. And I remember during my spring break, I was playing around on social media. It was on Snapchat, and I had posted, if anybody wants a painting, let me know. I'll paint whatever you want. And I was offering like 9 by 12s on canvas paper. It was nothing fancy. And I was just using what I had. And I did get 3 offers. And one of them,
Wow.
a friend at the time had said, hey, I have a friend who would like a drawing of an anime. The character was All Might from My Hero Academia. Like, would you be able to do that for him? And I said, yeah, sure. Even though I lacked painting experience, I still did it. Um, I didn't meet them up until way later down the line. They added me on social media, but I didn't think much of it. I didn't even hand the painting to them, so I didn't even know what they looked like. Um, but I did meet them up in person many months later. It was towards the end of my finals, and we really liked each other, and it wasn't meant to be romantic. It was just, us thinking that we were gonna make another friend, but it didn't turn out that way. Um, and then he asked me, well, he told me, I do have to tell you something. I might not, I might have to say goodbye to you one day. And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, there's a situation that I used to have a normal life. And at the time, he was cutting trees, but that's not what he had always done. He did have a normal life prior to that, but he was framed for something he didn't do, and his residency was revoked, and that he wasn't clear on whether or not he was going to have to be sent away or not. And so, even though I knew I might have to say goodbye, I was never ready to say goodbye. And he was taken away in the middle of my VC semester, my graphic design semester. And I remember how devastated I was. I will never forget that. It was to the point where I couldn't even finish my assignments anymore. And I wasn't connecting to the assignments given to me. They were having us, design business cards or, design a cereal box. And it just was something that I couldn't relate to. I couldn't be open to heal myself with. And so, I couldn't wait for the semester to be. And I regret being a graphic design major. I said, this isn't for me. Uh,
Yeah.
so then I remember one of the last phone calls I had with him that year. It was a hard conversation that we had. Basically, we were talking, we were saying we missed each other and things like that. And I remember I asked him if I could go see him and if I could go, be with him. And he told me something that I never forgot. And he's like, Michelle, you have to understand something. You I can't let you come here. It's like I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but I can't let you come here. He said, "You don't understand the potential that you have, and you have a future, and I no longer do. I can't give you what you deserve."
Wow.
And then he said, "I just hope one day that you can be something for me one day, and I just want you to know that you deserve the world and more." And those are some words that I never forgot. And so I always, we didn't really talk much after that, but we did rekindle a friendship. But it took time for me to heal from that. I remember when that semester was over, I was I began to focus more on portraiture because that was one of the things that I was not strong in. And so I developed that. And then once I started talking to him again, we formed a friendship. I asked him if it was okay if I could paint him. And he said yes. It's like, I would like my body of work about undocumented workers.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any photographs of when we're cutting trees? And he said, yes, I do. I have several. So he sent me like 20 of them. So this is what my body of work is talking about. I wanted to pick the stuff that they went through, like the hazards of them climbing up trees that were 50 feet tall. Or let's say a client wasn't happy with the price in the end, ICE could be called. Or they weren't aware that the neighbors were going to a war over a tree branch, and the neighbor who didn't want that tree cut could call ICE, and that could just end them.
Yeah.
So and I only have two at the moment, but I do want to create a larger body of work for this. I'll go ahead and show y'all that. This one is, I believe it's 36 by 48 inches. So it is large.
Yeah.
And
It's beautiful.
I remember the okay, yeah. I'm trying to I hope y'all can see it. I know the lighting in my room isn't the best. Um but I did this original photo actually taken in the middle of the day, so I did alter a couple of things. I wanted to paint it and depict it as if it was in the morning. So I changed the
Yeah.
light around with that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I wanted to I remember him waking up really early in the morning, having to go to work, and I kind of wanted to play with that dreamscape, the dreams that these, people
Yeah.
were as well. And I come from parents who are immigrants as well. I have family who are immigrants, friends, lovers, and this one is something I'm working on as well. Let me see. Can I turn off my camera? Yes, I can. I hope y'all can see that. Um, this is actually him standing on a branch and trying to get that perspective of him looking down. I thought that was a really
Mm-hmm.
good photograph, so I definitely want to paint that. It's not done.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And then that's my self-portrait right there.
Wow, gorgeous, gorgeous works. I love that dreamlike quality that you are adding to these pieces that are so moving and just heartbreaking stories sometimes, but
Hmm.
it's about the humanity of it. It's about being able to see past the rhetoric that you hear out there about immigration, and it's just yeah, I think they're lovely and they're so moving. It gives them that sense of hope and of pursuing dreams, which you are pursuing dreams. And as a daughter of immigrants, I'm an immigrant myself. I can so relate to this, and it's just yeah, like Ali just said, it's dreamlike and personal at the same time. Yeah,
Thank you.
so yeah, keep going. That's amazing.
And that is something that um, when I was starting out in art, that was something that was hard for me, was sharing these stories. I mean, they're so vulnerable. And
Yeah,
of course, I'm not the first person to speak on this, but it is a conversation that's worth continuing to have.
yeah, yeah. and from different points of view. I think your voice, each individual voice is so important, and you are part of that voice of the collective voices, right? You are putting your thoughts out there, you're putting your experiences out there, and that's really brave.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. So, is this where you work? Is this your studio, or do you have a studio at home?
No, this is my studio. This is it. My
Yeah. Can you show us around?
it's a little messy, but I'll
That's okay. A
try.
working studio is always messy.
Guys. It's not that big. As you can see, my paintings have taken up all my space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and I have more here and underneath my bed. And I have that one up there.
Oh, let's see that again.
This one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. There's another one that goes with it, but that one's at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center, and I have yet to go see it myself, so I don't blame y'all if y'all haven't.
That's awesome. That's great. So, for those of you that didn't hear from the beginning, Michelle was accepted to the Small Works exhibition at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center. Is that right?
Yes.
And how long will that be on display?
Until December 13th, so 10 more days.
Okay, so if you guys can go check it out, you have 10 more days to go see it. I think I'm gonna try to go see it soon. So
I
that's awesome.
haven't. And somebody asked
Um,
me if I paint outside. Yes, I do, but not when it's cold. I like to do it during the summer. I take advantage of the summer times to the fullest. So now that it's cold, I paint indoors. It's not.
yeah. Yeah, it's getting pretty cold this week, and but I think it should warm up maybe a little bit after this week, so maybe you can get one more
One last.
piece outdoors and you can share it with us.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so who are your favorite artists, your current favorite artist, who influences you?
Ooh, that's a hard one because there's so many artists, but I did narrow it down to two. I picked Emilia Cruz, love her, and I also picked Sergio Tan. His work is amazing as well, and they deal with similar topics, and so I've been trying to how they depict their work and follow them and their processes as well.
Yeah, so Emilia Cruz and Sergio Teran, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their websites are emiliacruz.com and Sergio Teran. It's SERGIOTERAN.com. They are, yeah, I checked them out. They're amazing, and I can definitely see your work as being part of that voice. And both of them, just like you, they have their own unique voices and their unique stories. And I think that's really, really great. Do you have any favorite artworks of theirs that
Oh,
really impacted you in some way?
mm-hmm. Oh, that's a hard one because they all have so many. I don't even know their
Yeah.
like on Instagram. I'm notorious for just scrolling, and I like what I like, but I don't know the names. I,
Yeah.
there was one that she did, but once again, people probably don't even know what I'm talking about. It was one where she was playing with like the moonlight and also reflection. And she was painting somebody with a mirror, and I thought that was a very interesting concept, but that sounds really vague. And so I don't know if people will know that post that I'm referencing, but I'll go ahead and post it on my stories when I find it on
Yeah.
the page. And for him,
What is it about the reflection?
the reflection,
Yeah, what is it about that really caught you?
it was the way she was playing with the light. Like
Yeah.
she was playing with the light with the mirror, and I thought that's something that I want to work on. Was is lighting. I want to play with I guess painting like on a darker surface and playing with the highlights. Is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Seems hard.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and so let's see. How have you been doing during this quarantine? I know that everybody gets asked that question, but I think it's valid because everybody deals with it a little bit differently. And do you feel that your art has been impacted by it?
Oh, yes, in the worst way possible. And it's a roller coaster. I do feel like my classes that are completely online, I'm sorry to say this, but I have neglected them. Um, my classes that are hybrid, I've taken advantage of the fact that I can go in the studio and nobody goes, so it's
Mhm.
just me. I don't feel bad about it. So it's just me in the studio space. I take advantage of that right after.
That's great.
hmm Yeah, but I do. There's some classes, the ones that are completely online. I took illustration and watercolor, and I just wish that they could because I'm like I'm a better student in person. Not who I am. This is not my work. This is not my work. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do what you can. Yeah. And personally, do you feel like the quarantine has been giving you maybe more freedom to create things at home, or has it hindered the, I guess, the way that you work?
I feel like it's. I mean, as wonderful as it sounds to have all day to yourself at home painting, it is kind of hard because for me, the way when things were I used to separate, my academic work and keep it at
Mhm.
school, and then whatever work that I wanted to focus on, or if I had a request for like a commissioned portrait, it would be done at home. So now that everything's kind of like all in one sitting, I do have a
Mhm.
dividing of my time. But that's
Wow. Yeah, so now you have two bodies of work, your academic work and the stuff that you make for yourself and that you show. Well, that's good. I mean, I think sometimes the academic work can kind of seep in to what you're working on, whether it's technique or I don't know, maybe a theme that you weren't expecting that was given to you by your professors or something different to think about. So maybe like that combination can be good.
yeah. There are some there were some projects that were given and I'm like, dang, if only I didn't procrastinate so much. The execution was phenomenal. But it was particularly the classes that were fully online that it was just hard for me to go because there's so many distractions. Like Hulu, there's YouTube, and
YouTube, yeah.
I work at night, so hard. Yeah.
Wow. And now that the semester is coming to an end, we kind of touched a little bit about how you feel about your classes and your studio work. What would you do differently if you knew then what you know now?
Oh God, even if I do know it now, I might not be able to do with it. Well, in theory, you know, time management is a good thing. Will I execute it in the spring? Who knows? Maybe I'm going to be a full-time student in the springtime, so I have to get something together.
Lists. I have found lists are a lifesaver. Just make a list of the things that you're gonna do that day, and then just check them off.
Yeah, definitely try. Maybe it'll work for me.
Yeah.
Because I did have a planner going on for me, and then we abandoned that a month in. Well, I abandoned.
Let's see. What advice would you give yourself back then when you were a community college student?
Mm. So I have many things I would tell myself. I'd scream at. There's so many things that I did wrong. It was like I would say, um, be honest with yourself and really just keep on practicing and like don't worry so much about because I remember one thing that I did as a college student is like I had these wonderful ideas. Like they were cute, cool, amazing, but the execution was god awful. It was skill. And so definitely work on skill. Don't worry so much about, if you have these great ideas, there's no point in having great ideas if they don't look great in the end. Definitely.
Just being patient and practicing.
Oh yeah, definitely. And be more organized. Oh, throw your work away. I would throw my work. I would be so mad at the end of the semester. Like if it did not look good in my eyes, it would go in the trash.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah, or paint over them and do something else.
yeah.
Just yeah, keep recycling and put some gesso on top and make more work and yeah, it's
I,
all about practice.
or you know what else I've done? So sometimes like if I like one part of my drawing or painting, I'll cut it out and then I'll just put it on my newer version of that rendition, and
That's like yeah.
nobody ever finds out.
That's great. Yeah, just reuse and rethink and just reinvent.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see, what is my next question? Okay, so what does the Cliff Gallery at Mountain View College mean to you? You used to work there, yeah?
Yes. Oh, the Cliff Gallery. I miss it. I want
No.
to take me back. Um, oh, it means so much to me. I never forget that. Um, at the end of my drawing class semester, uh, my drawing professor had asked the class as a whole, like, is anybody interested in being a work study student? And I didn't know what that meant, but I said yes. I wanted to do it. And she said it was for the art department. I was like, oh yeah, take me away. uh, I do remember I was the first one that they've had in about 10 years. And at first they had me doing some weird things, they were very mundane tasks. Like I remember they gave me a can of paint brushes and they're like, you throw away the ones that no longer look good. And I said, yes. And they had me organizing the still life closet. They had me like moving easels from one side of the room to the next, nothing exciting. And then they eventually had me, hang student work. And that was fun because, nobody spray fixed their work, so charcoal everywhere.
Charcoal.
Yeah. And then I remember they asked me if I was interested in gallery work. And once again, had no idea what that meant, but I said yes. And, from then on out, I learned a lot of things from that time period. Like I was learning how to, use lights to enhance artwork. I was watching other artists and seeing how they set up their work. That was a very interesting experience as well.
Yeah.
I remember Professor Behan, he one day created a chalkboard. And so he had me and another work study student drawing on the chalkboard. And we did. And I do remember people asking me, like, hey, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm a work study student. They're like, well, how do you get in? So I did bring attention. I will claim that. I did bring attention to the art work study program.
And has your work evolved since being at the Cliff Gallery? Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel like,
Oh, my God.
yeah?
Like, you do not want to see what my work looked like at Mountain View. As to that.
I think it's a good lesson to keep maybe one thing from the beginning, and then you can see your progress. I think, I don't know, I think it's kind of maybe kind of silly, but it's also, it teaches us that artists aren't just, born great. There's so much work that happens
Oh yeah, there
from the
was
beginning to, yeah,
there were so many tears,
so many.
both joy and pain.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think we have about 10 minutes left, and I know there's been some questions, so I'm gonna start. Uh, let's see, I'm gonna start looking at these. Okay, so Allison says, can you talk a little bit about the things you learned while being at Mountain View in the art department, especially?
Oh yes. One thing I learned is the importance of how a space is treated for an artist to be in a gallery. Like the
Mhm.
treatment of their space is so important. And every artist has a different way of doing so. And like you don't realize how many details are involved in that. Like no matter what they're doing, installation artists, you never know what they're gonna bring. Photographers were easier. Like they usually dimensions for us, and that was.
Yeah.
Um, what else did I learn? I'm acting like I forgot. I learned and also like the curation of it because I also did work for another location that shall not be named that was passing to be an art gallery, but it was extremely informal, and I saw the contrast of the two, and it was the treatment of the art and the way it's promoted and the way they're it says how the audience will treat them as well, either with
Yeah.
or with no respect. And
That's such an important and invaluable lesson to
mhm.
see because artists deserve respect and you know people try to just get free work, right? And artwork, artwork is work.
it
Yeah,
deserves respect.
exactly. Let's see. Did you see Carlton's question? Okay, so about passion. Okay, so let me go back and see. Okay, Carlton asks, I want to hear more about what drives you. What are your passions? Artists are usually driven to do art. They are pulled to it like the art is in command. It's not a forced thing. What drives you as an artist?
What drives me out this question is has a complex answer, but really what motivates me the most is that the fact that my parents gave me the opportunity to be here, and I um some of the things that I grew up seeing from friends who are undocumented, family members being undocumented, since they don't often have the opportunities that we have
Yeah.
to go above and beyond, and I do have that opportunity. I want to go ahead and you know strive for the highest thing that I can. So that's always been my motivation from the bottom of my heart.
That's beautiful. Great answer. Okay, let's see. Garrett says, since you have a little bit of digital background, what is your opinion on digital painting versus it
Uh,
says digital versus digital. So traditional painting versus digital painting, is that what you mean, Garrett? No answer, but I'm assuming that's what he means.
oh, tradition.
Traditional, yeah.
Okay, so so I have given digital art a chance again. I'm in a lot better place to look at it now. I don't have harsh feelings towards it anymore. I actually got
Mhm.
Procreate and I started playing around with it, and I do love it. I do love it a lot. Uh, It's less messier. I do say that. No cleaning brushes. That's wonderful. That is a plus. But yeah, I've actually been messing around. I haven't made anything serious on it. Still trying to figure out some things, but forever and always, traditional painting will be in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, there's different processes, and you can't escape the physicality of paint and how it moves. Um, and I think digital painting is just they're different tools, like Ali said. It's just they're it has to do with how you think, I think, and how you work. Um, yeah, because traditional painting, it is about the physicality, and but then the same ideas can transfer back and forth between technology, and you can use technology as well for planning and creating studies that then transfer onto your physical painting. So yeah, I think that both of them have their own merit. Okay, let's see. Jennifer. Okay, so Jennifer had a question about when you repurpose a portion of a painting, how do you work to make it blend into the whole painting, into the overall piece?
Repurpose a portion of a painting. Hmm. That is a good question. Hold on, I'm trying to understand the question as it's, um, mm, well, like, so I'm assuming, like, for example, like, if I didn't like that butterfly and then
Mhm.
I were to take it out and make sure that the painting still says what it says, I'm assuming that that's what you mean.
I think earlier you were talking about
Oh,
when,
out stuff. Oh, okay.
yeah, when you get pieces from old paintings and then you incorporate those into other ones,
So
I
usually
believe.
those are actually from drawing, yet to cut something out from an actual canvas. But a lot of my earlier works is cardstock, and so what I would do is that I would draw, cut the cardstock out, and put it on somewhere else. But I would use a paint, like, glue it, so to make sure the glue was really thin, and then I would um, compress it with something heavy, so that way you can't really see the silk. But even for a painting, like, I feel like there has to be a way to do that as well. Like, you
Hmm.
just on the edges and just blend it out somehow, some way, somehow. But
Yeah, and
it,
whatever remnants of texture can be part of it too.
yeah,
Yeah, like a collage, says Sally.
yeah,
Yes.
I love collage.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Any other questions that I missed? I'm looking through.
I feel like there was another one, but it's like when you were talking, they so hard to answer the questions.
Yeah.
I know somebody had asked a question. Oh, I can't find it anymore. Mm, I don't know. Oh wait, I think she asked. Carol, did you ask a question and I didn't answer it?
Let's see. I don't have any other questions posted in the question area. Um, let's see. Do you guys have any other questions? We're about to wrap up. It's about time. No? All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for spending an hour with us. This has been amazing. We love hearing about you, and please keep us posted on what you do, what you make, where you show. We are here to support you, and I think talking to you is just so inspiring.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you guys for joining in.
Thank you so much. All right. See you guys next time. Have a great uh, December, I guess. Semester's about to be over, so everybody, good luck with your finals. So we'll see you guys soon. We will have the video posted live, and we'll post the written interview on transformable blog. So yeah, follow us and see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, Michelle. Bye, everybody.